Here are 3 reasons why I'm still buying ICP. Reason number 1 is because hypothetically, I believe it has a lot of room to grow. I mean, for instance, if ICP were to, let's say, go to the price of $500, that right there is around a 60x from here. I mean, could you imagine that? Now, of course, nothing I say is financial advice nor a guarantee, but here's the thing. If, for instance, I were to put $1,000 into ICP, and let's say it were to go to the price of $500, at that point, I would have managed to turn by $1,000, hypothetically, into around $60,000. I mean, that's kind of insane to really think about. This is how crazy ICP is. Now, the way I take a look at ICP is that it's basically like an amazing project, but then the upside feels like a meme coin. Now, why is that? It's because usually meme coins, they do like over a 50x, over a 40x, whatever the case may be. But then these fundamentally amazing projects, it's typically, as of right now, kind of hard to find like the next amazing project that's going to do like over a 50x in terms of something like the caliber of ICP. But then in this case, I believe ICP could hypothetically do that, which is why I think that it's somewhat like a meme coin in terms of its potential, but then in terms of its use case, it feels like A+. So this is how crazy ICP is. And it's not like $500 is crazy or something like that. I mean, if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $236 billion. So not too bad, right? We've seen, something caca like Ethereum over double this back in 2021. And Ethereum, it's an okay layer 1 blockchain. Of course, it has a lot of fans. It's massive, all this type of stuff. There's a lot of projects on it. But here's the thing. I just kind of feel like it's fundamentally flawed in a sense, because you take a look at, for instance, the gas fees, they're a complete no bueno. Also on top of that, you take a look at how it's arguably not even scalable. The way you take a look at Ethereum is like this. It's like eating shrimp at your friend's like uncle's barbecue. I mean, it's all right, but it's not really that good, right? Compared to like a restaurant. The way you take a look at ICP, it's like eating shrimp, but at Bubba Gump. It's a totally different vibe. There's no way the friend's uncle's, shrimp could taste better than the one in Bubba Gump. At least that's what I think from my experience, because on top of just having better shrimp overall, in Bubba Gump, you get that like Forrest Gump type of vibes. You know what I mean? It's just a completely different ball game. I take a look at ICP, it's basically like the Bubba Gump of projects. That's how amazing it is. When it comes to Ethereum, right? Of course, there are layer 2s out there that kind of combats this type of nonsense. But the way I take a look at it is that, something like ICP doesn't have to rely on random caca stuff like that. The internet computer is just fundamentally way better. So the way I view it is that ICP, going to the price of $500 during this bull run, I really don't see why not. I think it's very amazing. And I think sometimes people don't understand just how special it is. I mean, after all, the internet computer, I think, is one of the best projects out there. And this actually brings me to my second point, which is the second reason why I'm still buying ICP. And that's due to its rock solid and amazing fundamentals. I mean, you got to think about how the internet computer, as of right now, is actually, statistically speaking, the world's most productive blockchain, which is kind of insane to think about. I mean, there's tons out there, right? However, the internet computer does allegedly hold that spot. So yeah, that's how amazing it is. On top of that, right, when you take a look at it, it's trying to decentralize the internet. Now, some people out there may think that this is kind of trash or caca, but, I don't think it's bad at all, to be honest. As the old saying goes, right, you aim for the moon and then maybe you land somewhere along the stars. So the way you take a look at the internet computer is that, is it going to like fully decentralize the internet by, 2025 or something like that? No, but it doesn't really matter because it shows that they have a grand vision, shows how they're trying to actually achieve great things. Because oftentimes people, as of right now, they argue that the internet, it's still a bit too centralized. So of course, decentralization, it could play a large role in changing the way people view the internet. Because typically, as of right now, people often argue that, hey, the internet is typically controlled by big tech giants, all this type of stuff. But I think that the internet computer, again, through decentralization, could very well change this type of mindset. But again, it's going to take some time because it's a very grand vision if you think about it. But I'm very confident in the internet computer because, again, when you have something this fantastic, I don't see why it would be bad. Not to mention, if you take a look at it, the internet computer, it's focused on AI. Now, you may be thinking, okay, this is kind of trash, man. The hype for AI disappeared. But no, I disagree because you take a look at, for instance, according to Grandview Research, the AI market is predicted to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030. So that's crazy. I mean, we're so close to 2025. So yeah. And also on top of that, the internet computer, they're focused on decentralized AI. Now, the benefit of something like this is that, for instance, enhanced scalability. Also on top of that, you take a look at potentially improved security as well. So if you take a look at decentralization, this could be massive again for the AI market and also again for the internet overall, because of course the internet computer, they're focused on grand and amazing things. Now, not to mention, right, when it comes to the internet computer, the average cost per instruction is over 40 million times less expensive than Ethereum, which is kind of crazy to think about. So again, just like I mentioned in my previous, reason in the reason number 1 section of this video, if something like Ethereum can reach over $550 billion in market cap, why can't ICP at least go to around $236 billion in market cap? Around a 60x from here and have a price of around $500. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy at all. And the third and final reason why I'm still buying ICP is because I believe that a high tide raises all ships. Now, what do I mean by that? If you take a look at it, right, let's say there's like ships in, near the ocean or whatever, near the beach, and then like there's a high tide, of course, all the ships are going to rise, even the caca ones. I'm not talking about the ones that have holes and whatnot and are going to sink. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, again, an analogy that usually when things are great, usually things that surround it also become great. Meaning that if, let's say, during this bull run, the FOMO is fantastic, the bull run is amazing, I think ICP is going to go along with the ride. Because you take a look at Bitcoin, for instance, right? There are so many bullish factors for it. You take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the institutional investors, it's just through the roof. Also, you take a look at the Ethereum ETF. Now, granted, I think Ethereum is caca. I wouldn't acquire it, but I still do believe that the Ethereum ETF is still beneficial for the whole crypto space overall in terms of sentiment. And also, not to mention, there's over 500 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history, by the way. So when you take all of those factors into consideration, I could very well see Bitcoin going to the price of, let's say, $150,000 during this bull run. Why not? When things are this amazing, I don't think it would be crazy. And again, I think as Bitcoin does that, I think a lot of altcoins, they're going to go along with the ride. And I think ICP, I think it's going to join that ride. At that point, $500, I really don't see why not. I do believe that ICP is that special, but it's just a sleeping giant at this point, and I really can't wait. And of course, my strategy is very simple, dollar cost averaging. Anytime I acquire income, I acquire ICP, I hold, and I just wait. That's it. I like to keep things simple. And just imagine, right, 6 months from right now, a year from right now, the sentiment could be so different. I'm not saying that it's going to, again, happen like next week or whatever like that, but just imagine, things could change so quickly in the crypto space. Just imagine, a year ago, everyone was saying ICP was caca. Then a couple months ago, when ICP had that good pump, guess what? Sentiment changed. And now it's having a pullback. People are saying, oh yeah, it's caca, all this type of stuff. So again, sentiment could change very quickly. A year ago, people thought that, let alone like $10 was impossible for ICP. They were saying, oh yeah, it's trash, all this. But, could you imagine, right? Just a couple months ago, everyone was saying, yeah, ICP at the price of, this price. They were suddenly bullish again. But personally, for me, I've learned from those experiences. I know to keep in cool and collected mindset, which is why I think more about the long term. I dollar cost average, and when I believe in something, I commit to it. I just don't give up randomly out on a whim like that for no reason. That's just not my vibe, man. I like to keep things very simple. Because again, ICP at the price of $500 during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think it's that special, and I think that this bull run could be that fantastic. And by the way, feel free to also become a channel member if you want to. And by doing so, you can get a prioritized response from me in the comments. And also when you comment, you can use these like cool badges, which I think is fantastic. So yeah, I think it's amazing overall. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.